So we discussed last time, the spreadsheets are mainly for calculations, and for the calculations, it actually creates a lot of functionality. So that's exactly what we are going to discuss, right? So when you look at various software available under the name of spreadsheets, now Microsoft Excel is one of the things that we are discussing in the class. It's a commercial one, which means we have to pay for it, and proprietary one, which means it has written a way that we don't know how the program is actually written. Then these two, that means OpenOffice and LibreOffice, they are totally free. You can download and install, and it's same. You can have the same functionality as Excel, and it's not a pirated one. Usually, if you're not paid, you get a pirated version of the software. So it's not the case here, right? And then these two are actually free, meaning you don't have to pay for it, and open source, which means if you want to know how they have actually built this piece of software, you can go and look at it, right? And sometimes they will let us to change as well. So you can have your own, Excel software if you want. And if you take Mac operating systems, in the Mac, it's called Numbers under the iWork package. So Numbers, and then there are some cloud-based software such as now Google Sheets, Office 365, and so on. Here we have the Google Sheets. So that's actually come as cloud software. Nowadays, the trend is now everything runs on the browser. You don't have to install it, right? You name application, I can give you like cloud-based software to do this, right? And then we discuss the interface. In the interface, we have seen that it's slightly different from Word. Most of the things that we have discussed in Word, the commands will be available for Excel as well. But additionally, instead of a document, we have what we call as cells, right? So everything is like put it as columns, and the rows, they are columns named with English letters, and then the rows, we have numbers. So when columns meet a row, we call it a cell, and active cell we are working on actually shows you with a border, right? So you will have a border like this. Okay, and then there are a lot of so the tabs. So usually in Excel, we can find home tab where you will see general font changes, alignments, and so on. Apart from that, we can have numbers. We can decide number of decimal places and so on. Right. Then if you take other tab like insert, there are new commands you will see, which is actually particularly for Excel, like pivot table. You can change the way data looks, right? Rows into columns and so on. Right? And the others are quite the same, right? Page layout almost the same as Word. Okay. Now, few things that we have discussed last time. Now, cell address is actually used to name a cell. The idea is when you're performing calculation, it's important to know where you are going to store the cell. Now, in that particular case, now when if you say A1, usually English letter comes first. That means you specify row first, then sorry, column first, then row. right? So A1, not one name, but it's always A1. So if you say A1, it means we are referring a cell created using column A and row 1. And then when you want to specify multiple cells, there are two ways that we can do this. One, you can comma separate, meaning you can individually, represent each of these cells. Right? For example, we have A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. That means you comma separate. That means you specify one by one. But if it is consecutive cells like this, that means cells are in the same place, then we can use colon. You can specify start and end only, right? You can specify start and end. So this is so usually way of representing cell ranges. Okay, now I have given you some exercise you to send to me, right? So most of you have actually already sent, but not some of you, right? So let's try to do this. Now in this one, what we see, now we have given a set of cells. Now we have given something like this, and then we are given a set of ranges, and now we are supposed to identify them. Now to do this, I will use different colors, right? And using different colors, I'm going to select the area, right? So those who do not, send me the answer, you can do this before I actually send, discuss the answer. So you can quickly, color in your book and then send me the screenshot. Okay, so let me start with the first one, right? Now the first one, it says A1, A2, A5, A6. So let's take A1, A2, A5, A6. So A1 meaning this one. Then we have A2. Then A5. So A5. Right? And then we have A6. Right. If you're not taken down, please take down this. Okay, let's move to the second one. So we have the second one. We have C1 to E1, right? Remember, when you have colon, it means you specify start and end. So C1 is here. Then E1. E1 is here. So which means we have this range. Okay. C1 to E1. Third one. right? So in third one, we have C3 to F4. So we have C3 here, right? And then F4. F. So here. So that means this whole area, right? So C3 to F4. We will have C3 to F4. Last one.
Excuse me, sir.
Yep.
Sir, Devmini waiting room ekelu.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Pute. Right? Okay, sorry, Devmini. I didn't see you. Right. In case if this happens, maybe you can put me a WhatsApp message or something. Um, so let's move on to the fourth one, right? So it says G2 comma, right? When you use comma, that means you are going to individually specify. So the first one we have to take is G2. So let's go to G2 first. So I'm going to take a different color this time. Right? We have G2. Right? We have G2, right? And then H3 to I5. H3 to I5, right? So which means we have to take this whole range, right? So now hope you know how to select the ranges. So first one, A1, A2, A5, A6. So A1, A2, A5, A6. So you specify individually, comma separation. When you use colon, you specify start and end. In this second one, we have C1 to E1. So we have C1 to E1. Then third one, we have C3 to F4. C3 to F4, meaning like this whole range, right? And finally, we will have G2, comma, we have G2, comma. Then we have H3 to I5. So we have H3 to I5. Okay, right. If you're okay with this, we can move on then. Right. Now, having said that, let me move on to the next part then. Now we are ready with, we know what a cell is. We know how to get cell ranges. The next thing that we want to do is we'll look at what kind of a data that we can actually have with in spreadsheets, right? So that's what exactly we are going to look at it. By the way, I actually shared with you the word note, and also there's assignment. We are like 2 pages. You are supposed to work on it by your own and send me the word file, right? Okay, now cell range is done. Okay, now let's take down what kind of a data that we can enter, right? First of all, I will show you. I will get a new spreadsheet. File new, right? And let me share the screen. Right. Now here is how it look like in my machine. Right. Now when it comes to spreadsheets, you can enter several data points. You can have labels like name of a person. These are called labels. Now remember, when you type label, it goes to the left line, right? Left sides in the cell, right? So we can say marks. Again, another label, right? Like Sampath. Marks, let's say 85. Okay. So let me say this is marks for ICT. Right? And we have marks for maths. Like we can have 65. So you see the numbers are right aligned, right? Then you can have equations like equal, the formulas sometimes we say. Now, let's say we want to add these numbers, we can say simply 85 plus 65, right? So you can perform calculations. So remember, so we can have 3 data types. The first one, the labels, they are left aligned. Then we can have numbers, they are right aligned. And then we can have equations called formulas. Right? So you can even have functions like, right? So depend on the what value we have. Okay. Now, for example, let's say I'm going to calculate the average. So average meaning I can say, okay, 150 divided by 2. And we can say whether the person is pass or fail, right? Depend on the marks. Let's say I want to check whether the marks here. So that means 75, right? And if 75 is greater than 50, yes, we can say pass, or else we can say fail. We will discuss this later on for the time being. So it says pass. That means you can have functions. So all these are the possible data types in Excel, right? So let's take down. So I'm going to share the whiteboard again. Let's take down the different data types, right? So the data types. So we can have data types. So the 3 data types that we have seen is labels, numbers or values, and formula. Right? These are the possible ones. So you can have labels, a combination of letters, numbers, special symbols, or even text. We call labels. They are left aligned, like name and science. Then we can have numbers. They are right aligned, like 70 or 46.67. Then we can have formulas. You write expressions using equal sign. Like these are some of the examples. So let me put the second row so that you are not confused. Right. Let's take down. Okay. So let me share the Excel sheet again. So here is my Excel sheet. And let's look at what operators that we can use. Now, when we talk about operators, it means I'm going to use addition, subtraction, and so on. So addition is simple. You can say equal sign if you're going to perform addition, right? And then let's say I'm going to add, 10 plus 15. You just type 10 and 15. When you press enter, it'll give you the addition. So subtraction is also the same. So let's say 45 minus 7. You get the answer. So you will see only the answer, but when you remember, every time when you go to a cell, then here, formula bar, you will see the formula. Right now we are in B4, in the name box, you can see that as well, right? So that's subtraction. Then I'm going to say multiplication, right? So the multiplication, we are using asterisk here, right? Meaning like, let's say 3 into, let's say 5. So this is the symbol that we use to represent multiplication. So when you press enter, so you'll get 15. Then we have division, like let's say I'm going to divide 10 by 3. So that's slash. So we use slash to represent the division. Then exponentiation, meaning the power. So let's say 2 to the power 10. So that is the hat mark we are going to use, and 10. So I forgot to put equal sign. So let's talk about the mathematical operators. So we discussed 5 operators, right? So the operator is plus. So that's for addition, then subtraction, then we have multiplication, division, and the exponentiation, meaning the power of it, right? So let's take down this. So we have operators, and I have given you the meanings. So these are the symbols that you should use, and these are the ones we have to type, right, when you want to calculate something. So let's take some simple calculation. Let's say 3 plus 4 into 5, right, in simple mathematics. So what is the answer? What are you going to do? So 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 into 5, 35. Are you going to do like that? What is the answer?
23.
Yes, it should be 23, right? If you do this way, like addition first and multiplication, you get a different answer. So remember, so when you have like two operators like this, in this particular case, addition and multiplication, you have to perform multiplication first, right? So that means first you simplify multiplication, then you are going to perform addition. So this is called precedence, isn't it? Right. So that matters for in Excel as well, right? So you have to look for the precedence, and here is the precedence. So the highest priority is given for brackets, then exponentiation, multiplication and division, we consider they are in the same precedence. And finally, you will have addition and subtraction. Right? So first of all, you should, work on this. But if you have like multiplication and division, which one you are going to do first? Multiplication or division? Yes, Malindu?
Division.
Sithiya? If you have multiplication, division, which one you are going to do first?
Multiplication.
Babashi? If you have multiplication or division, which one you are going to do first? Dulina?
Do the operation starting from the left hand side.
Okay, good answer. Now, if you have like multiplication or division, both are in the same precedence. Whatever you get when you go from left to right, remember this is very, very important, because if you have multiplication, division, doesn't matter which one you do first. But usually, especially in computers, it works from left to right. It works from left to right. So you solve from left to right. So whatever you meet first from the left, you are going to perform. If it is multiplication, you perform multiplication, otherwise division. Now same goes with addition and subtraction, right? So both are the same procedures. Whichever the operator comes first from the left, you are going to perform it, right? So that's why we can simply say the precedence, right? It goes from left to right. It goes from left to right. Okay, now let me give you one, we'll work on one example, then I will give you one to work on it. So don't take down, just observe, because I will give you some time you to work on this, right? Let me first look at the first one, right? Simplify this one. I think you should give me the steps. Right now, here is what I have, the very first one, right? We have 5 plus 2 into 3 to the power 2 divided by 6, then minus 3. So which operation we should perform first? Tahimi?
Addition.
Devmini?
Addition.
Dulaj? Tivanka? Imashi?
Division.
Kanishka?
Exponentiation.
Exponentiation, right? Why? Now I have listed here. First, you look for brackets. If there are any brackets, no brackets, so that's not the priority. Second, we have exponentiation, meaning like we have exponentiation here. We are going to make 3 to the power 2. So which means the first we should solve this one. Right? So 5 plus 2 into, like we work on this one, 3 to the power 2, meaning this is 9. Then division, then subtraction. What I said was, when you have same precedence, like what is same precedence? Multiplication and division has the same precedence. If that is the case, right, you perform whichever comes first from the left. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Next calculation, right? Tivanka, can you tell me what I should do next? We have addition, multiplication, division, subtraction.
Multiplication.
Yes, we have multiplication, division, same precedence, but multiplication comes first from when you go from left to right. So we had for multiplication next. So what I can say, we can say 5 plus, this is 18, division minus 3. Next one, Tahimi.
Division.
Now this time we have to do the division, right? So we have 5 plus 18 divided by 6, that is 3 minus 3. Dev meaning, what is next?
Addition.
So that should be addition according to the rules that we specified. We have perform addition now, right? So that 5 plus 3 is 8 minus 3. Right? Finally, we will get 5. Okay, so let's take down this, and then I want you to send me the answer for the second one. Let me give you a second one. Right? Can you quickly work on this one? Take down this first, work on this one, and send me the answer in the chat.
You have disabled the chat.
Okay, I will enable it. So, okay, I have enabled the chat. Okay, so let's look at the answers, right? So the second one, we have to start, we have division, multiplication, subtraction, again like exponentiation here, the power. So we have to first work on this one. So which means I have to rewrite this in divide by 2 into 3 minus 2 to the power 3, that is 8 plus 5. Next one, if I carefully look at it, now this time I have to perform division, isn't it? Right? So the division, that means we have 4 into 3 minus 8 plus 5. So now if you look at the procedures, we have to perform multiplication. So I can say 12 minus 8 plus 5, right? Again, when you look at the procedures, subtraction and addition is the same. So this you have to perform this. So we can say, okay, 12 minus 8, that is 4 plus 5, right? And the final answer should be 9. Okay, good. So I got the correct answer from Yenula, Dolina, Kanishka, Tarushi, Prabhashi, Imashi, Sitija, Kalindu, and Dulaj. Right. So let's do some more. So this is from the book. I'm going to get it. The questions given in your the textbook. So I'm going to select this. Right. Now let's put that. Okay, quickly, I want everyone to work on this. Okay. And then we'll discuss the answers. Quickly. Let's try to finish it as soon as possible. So the first one, we have 6 minus 4 divided by 2, division first. So that means 6 minus 2, that is 4. Right? Second one, 5 into 4 plus 3. So we know multiplication 20 plus 3. So that is 23. The second one, isn't it? Right? So third one, 3 plus 4 into 5, right? So we have 3 plus 4 into 5, 3 plus 20, so that is 23. Fourth one, 2 to the power 5 plus 3, so that is we have to work on 2 to the power 5. That means 32 plus 3, right? That is 35. Fifth one, we have 3 plus 5 to the power 2. So that means 3 plus, this is 25. So we need to get 28. Then we have 6 one, 4 plus 5 into 2 to the power 3. So that means 4 plus 5 into 8. That is 4 plus 40. That means 44. Right. Then the seventh one, we have 8 divided by 4 into 2. So that means 8 divided by 8. So that is 1. Isn't it? So 8 divided by 4 multiply by 2. So that is 8 divided by 8, that is 1, right? Isn't it? Did I make a mistake anywhere? Seventh one, because many of your answers are different from mine. Check the answer, right? Because many of you answer for question number 7 is slightly different. 7, again, we'll look at it now. We have division. Okay, so I made the mistake here. I made a mistake, yes. So the mistake was my answer is incorrect, right? So we have to first perform the division, right? So if I perform the division, so what will happen? 8 divided by 4, that is 2. You are correct, right? So that should be 4. Remember, division and multiplication, I told you. So first you go from left to right. So it's a good one, actually, right? Okay, right. So that's question number 7. So if your answer is slightly different, please let me know, right? In case I might, mistake. So the 8th one, we have minus 4 divided by 2 plus 2. So the division comes first. So this is minus 2 plus 2. So the 8th one should be 0. Right. So let's look at the 9th one. 1 plus 2 to the power 2 into 3. So we have 1 plus 2 to the power 2 is 4 into 3, right? 1 plus this is 12. So we should get 13. Right. Then 10th one, we have 3 into 4 divided by 2. That is 12 divided by 2. Right. So that means it's 6. Okay. Right. Now let's work on question number 11. So we have 11 here. We have 5 divided by 2 plus 1 into 3 into 4. So in this particular case, first of all, we had to work on this one. And to the power 3, that is same. So 5 divided by 2 plus 1 into 4. So first come division and multiplication. Division come first. So that means this is 2.5 plus 1 into 4, right? Am I right? Yes. So 5 divided by 2, right? That's 2.5. Then 1 into 4, it should be, is it 6.5?
Yes.
Okay, so the 12th one, we have 3 minus 4 into 3 divided by 2. So which means we have multiplication comes first. 3 minus this is 12 divided by 2. So 3 minus this is 6. Is it minus 3? 13, 6.
Minus 1.5 remain.
Let's check. So first of all, multiplication, that's okay, no? So 3 into 4 into 3, that is 12. divide by 2. Okay. So then we have 3 minus 12 divide by 2. 12 divided by 2 means 6, right? So 3 minus 3 is minus 6. How about the others? Yeah, it's minus 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 13, 6 divided by 3 into 2 to the power 1 minus 3. 13, 6 divided by 3, 2 to the power 1 minus 3. So in this one, 6 divided by 3, we have to talk about the exponentiation first. So that means 2 to the power 1, that is 2 minus 3. So now we have division and multiplication. Division first, that is 2 into 2 minus 3. So this is 4 minus 3, and this is 1. Can you confirm me the answer? 30?
Yes.
Yes, 6 divided 2 to the power 1, that is 2. So then 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 into 2, 4. 4 minus 3. Okay, thanks. Then 14th, we have 3 into 2 to the power 4. So 2 plus 4 divided by 9 plus 1. So that means we have to first of all work on what is inside the brackets. So that means 3 into 2 to the power 2 plus 4 is 6 divided by 9 plus 1. Then we have multiplication and division. So we have to perform multiplication first because same precedence and we have to go from left to right. So this is 18 divided by 9 plus 1. So this is 2 plus 1 and this is 3. Right, last one. So we will have the last one, that is number 15. We have 2 to the power 3 divide by 5 minus 1 to the power 3 into 5. Right. So we have to first of all work on the brackets. So 2 to the power 3 divide by, so within bracket, we have to first work on the exponentiation, meaning 5 minus 1 to the power 3 is 1 into 5. Right, now this is 2 to the power 3 divided by 5 minus 1 is 4 into 5. Now we can exponentiation. 2 to the power 3 means 8 divided by 4 into 5. Right, so this is the division and multiplication. So we left, we get the division. So we perform the division, that is 2 into 5. Right, so that should be 10. Okay, good. Right. How many of you have got more than, let's say, 12? Can you let me know in the chat? Type your name if you have got more than 12. Okay, so we have Imashi, Dolina, Kanishka, Tivanka, Yonal, Malindu, okay, Kalindu, Dulaj, Devmini, Harushi, Yenula. Okay, good, 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 good. Some of you have actually got all 15, it seems, right? Okay, that's really good. So this is one of the difficult questions because when it comes to calculation, but nothing to do in ICT. Uh, simply we follow the rules and it's same as what you learn in mathematics as well. Right? Okay, so with that one, we actually finish looking at the calculations. Right. Now, let's do a small work on the sheet. So before I talk about the remaining parts, right, I would like to use use of cell addresses, and also I'm going to look at operators, right? So in this part, I'm going to actually work on a simple problem, right? So I'm going to use Excel, and I want you to also work with me, right? Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to share my Excel, and you can also open Excel, and then we'll create a sheet. Okay, right. So let's start with names. Names, right? Can you suggest few names in the chat? Names of students. I will randomly pick you, so you can propose names of the class, the students, please. Okay, we have Jagan. Propose, please. Everyone should type a name. I'm waiting for your names. Okay, we have Kevin. Okay, we have Sitija. Okay, Natasha. Okay, good that we have at least one girl in the class. Ladies, please propose some names. Okay, we have Naomi. One more, one more. Come on, let's see. Sanjit. Okay, I have not heard of some of these names, but anyway, right? We put up some marks. Marks. Let's first of all have ICT marks. Can you propose some values? I will randomly pick, right? You can type some numbers now. Can you propose some numbers? Okay, we have 88, 90, 85. Okay, 85. Okay, again 85, 79. Okay, then we'll have maths, 61. Yes, propose some values. Okay, we have 90. Yes, 76, 89, 84, 82. Okay, science. I'm actually using the marks you are proposing. Right after 82, we have 88, 91, 78, 78. Yes. Two more marks, please. Two more. Right, 92. Okay, we have 89. Good, thanks. Right, we have randomly populated, and thanks for the help. Right, now let me talk about the total marks. Now, if I want to find out the total marks for Jagan, I could type like this. I could type 88 plus 61 plus, right, 88 the key. This is possible. But the problem is, if I made the mistake, let me say, no, it's not 88, it's 90. So you see, the totals will not change. The problem is, I have used the words as it is. Okay, so we have used the numbers as it is. Now, instead of this, the best possible way to tell which cell are you referring to, right? So when you're writing equations, remember, we will not say 88, right? So we'll refer the cells and remember the equal sign. So I'm going to change this. So instead of that, I'm going to say, okay, cell address. So what is the cell address for Jagan for ICT? Can you type in the chat? For ICT, Jagan's marks for ICT in which cell? It's in, if you go to the column, it's B, and then Jagan's name is in 2, so we have to say B2, right? Okay, and then we can say plus. Then we are going to have maths. So in this particular case, maths marks for Jagan, which cell? Yes, it's in C. Then we have in 2, right? So V2 plus. Then we have science, right? So the science, we have D2, right? So this is the equation we can write for this. Similarly, can you guys send me what is the equation I have to type to find the total for Kevin? Now we know it's for Jagan, it's equal B2 plus C2 plus D2. Remember that when you're sending us an equal sign is very important. In the exam also, if you miss equal sign, you will get 0 marks, right? So we can say equal sign. ICT marks for Kevin is in B3 plus, then max in C3 plus science in D3. Right. Can you give me one more? Tasanji, okay, let's say Natasha. Right? Can you guys tell me what is the equation I have to put for Natasha's total marks? Yes, Malidu, you can, but I'll come after this because we have to learn everything from the beginning. You are correct. So Natasha, I can write. Okay, it's B5, right? B5 plus C5 plus D5. Okay, good. Looks good. So I hope you understand how exactly this will work, right? Now, whenever if I change something here, earlier this was 88, so I will put back 88. You see, it should change now. The total is like this. Let's have average marks. Now, to find the average, you can simply divide the total with the number of subjects. So I can say simply equal sign, and the total is in E2. So I can say E2, right, divide by the number of subjects. So that means 3 here. So that's average. We can simply say E2 divide by 3. Okay. Okay, can you send me the Sichida's average marks?
79.66667.
Okay. So to find out this, you need the total as well. You need to calculate, right? So I'm going to say, okay. So Sichida's total I'm going to do first. So that is B4 plus D4 plus D4. This is the simplest way to calculate. There are some other ways to do this. Then to calculate the average, I'll take E, that is 4, will give you the total marks, and we'll divide with the number of subjects. We'll get 79.6667 in my case. Okay, so one of the interesting things in Excel is you don't have to type everything. I hope you some of you already know this. But let me take now, for example, if I want to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 like this. Right? Typing up to 10 is okay, but let's say if you want to type 1 to 100, no, this is not going to work manually typing. Then why should we use, something like this? So there's an autofill feature, which means if you take, for example, right, if you take a single cell and if you go to this place, this is called autofill, and if you click autofill,
Yes.
right, and then if you drag, right, it will copy the same content. Copy the same content, right? But if you have a pattern like 1, 2, 3, 4, then you have to select multi-select. You go to the first one, click and drag. This is called multiple selects. Right? In multi-select, the beauty is you can go to this place, and if you click and drag, it will preserve the pattern. You see, like this. So you can try other means as well. Like, for example, I can have 5, 10, for example, like. So if you select the first 2, and then if you drag, you can see the pattern. Right? Another one, like if you say 100 and 90, if you have something like this, it will preserve. You see, even things like Sunday, Monday, I'm going to say Sunday, Monday, right? If you put in this form, right, it will go like this. Interesting, isn't it? Now the same thing you can see when you write equation as well, right? You don't have to type equations. Interestingly, if you type one equation and you know that there's a pattern, because for this one it's B2, C2, D2, this is B3, C3, D3. So when you have the patterns like this, you don't have to type it. You go to this fill handle, click and drag where you want. It will fill everything. Similarly, for the average also, you click, right? And then you go to fill handle, click and drag. So you will get the average value. So that's called autofilling. Right. Now, if you want to like looks good, because we have here, we don't have decimal numbers, here we have some. So you can go to this number. So these two, you can fix number of decimal places. Right. So I can have, I can decide on how many decimal places I want. Now, usually we prefer 2 decimal places or 3 decimal places. So I'm going to stick into 2 decimal places. So here is my average marks. It looks good now. Right. So that's about writing formulas using simple operators that we have learned. But there's something called functions available in Excel. Now let's say I want to know the minimum marks. Right? Minimum marks for ICT subject. Right? Now for that one, I can have built-in functions. The functions to find out minimum is called mean. Right? Then I can list. Okay, so this is like, okay, I'm going to say, okay, minimum of, right, ICT marks for Jagan, Kevin, Sijia, Natasha, Naomi, Tasanjit, and so on. So you can say B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7. You can do that. But we know that when you have consecutive values like this, you can simply mention the beginning, that is B2 colon, and then we can say, okay, B7. So the minimum marks for ICT is 79. So you can drag the field handle to other subjects. So we know the minimum marks for maths is 61 and science is 70. Likewise, you can find maximum as well. So simply the function you should know, max. Again, the range. So we know it goes from B2, right, to B7. We know the maximum marks for ICT is 90. If you copy these two others, right, so we'll get like this. So I will put up the labels in different color. So let me use the color dark blue, and then maybe I will center it, bold it to see it's look good. Similarly, these two as well, right, bold it, I will center it. Right. Now, similarly, there are functions for finding total as well. So you don't have to type total like this. Simply, now earlier this is tedious task, because if you have like 50, let's say you have 10, 15 subjects, you have to type 10, 15 times. So the easiest way is we can make use of total using a function. Now, function for calculating total is called sum, and then range we can specify. We can say, okay, it goes from B2 to D2, right? This is to say that, okay, find me the sum of the cells B2 to D2. So if you press enter, you will get the same. And then you can simply drag. This is using functions. Similarly, average also we have, right? So average also, we have a function called average. So in average also, we can say, okay, go from B2 to science D2. Right? Okay, you can get the values like this. So you see that these values we filled, I'm going to use different color. right? Using, functions available in Excel. We didn't manually calculate. You see, it's very easy. And whenever you make a change, let's say this is wrong, right? Right now, Jagan's, it's not really 61. He's actually a good student. So it should be 91. So when I put 91, can you tell me what places the value updated in which cells? So I'm going to change this. Let me highlight. Right, I'm going to change the value. So there's a mistake. Now, can you tell me what other places you will see the change? Now, I'm going to change this 61 to 91. Can you list what are the other places which will affect the change of this? So when I change this,
press කරාන හරිනේ.
so when you change this 91, for example, right, it affects the others. Yes, Malindu?
Enter click කරාන හරිනේ.
Enter click run hari. You can press enter. Yes, it's possible. You see it will affect. So 61, you can press enter. It will change. So I'll remove the color. So I hope you understand the beauty of Excel when you're working. Let me finish this using a rank. Let's say I want to find the rank of the person, right? Now for that, you have one called rank, right? And then we have to specify which one you are going to rank. I'm going to rank average, right? So this is the rank. I'm going to average this one. And then we have to say the range. I want to rank this within this range. Which range? F2 to F7. So I'm going to say, okay, rank F2 between F2 to F7. Right. Now it says that, okay, Jagan is 6th in the class, right? Jagas is 6th in the class. Now let me copy. Okay, now there's an issue. It says Kevin is number 1 and also Naomi and Sachin is also number 1. Okay, something has gone wrong. If you look at this range, the number F2 and the range is F2 to F7. Here F3, okay, but the range has changed F2 to F8. Now we have to fix it. We have to tell the Excel that, okay, don't change 2 and 7. So I have to edit this, which I will discuss more details in the next class. But for the time being, I'm going to put $mark to 2 and 7. The idea there is I'm going to say, okay, don't change 2 and 7, right, for the correct answer. So now let me click. Right now it says, okay, Kevin is the best student in my class. Then Naomi is the second best. right? And so on. Now, to finish our discussion, right, I'm actually going to sort this, the range, right? I'm going to sort, and I'm going to prefer custom sort. And then I'm going to based on the selection of the rank, right? And I'm going to select from smallest to the largest. Right. Now I know that, okay, I rank everyone. So Kevin, right, Naomi, Natasha, Tashnadit, and Sister and Chagan. I will undo because maybe I will fix into this. Right. Okay, that's all we are going to have. Right. One more time, the sorting. So when you want to sort something based on a column, I'm going to select the range of, and I want to rank everything based on this column. So I'm going to select sort, and then I'm going to use custom sort. And then I have select, okay, rank to sort. And then I will say order is smallest to largest, which will rank everyone from 1 to 6. So this is really good, especially if your teachers are, calculating marks by hand and finding ranks, so you can help them. But by creating a small spreadsheet like this, they just have to fill it up, right? And it's easy and error proof. Whenever you make a change, it'll affect everyone. Now, like I said, if the Jagan's marks is 91, now right now we see in the 6th position, if you put 91, see what will happen, right? So Jagan is going to the 2nd position, right? But sorting, you have to do it manually again. So it will not, sort automatically. But the other ones are okay, right? Okay, so I'll go back to the original one. So this is the one. And then I will actually put this in different colors as well. And I will send it to you. So I want you to, as a homework, right? So I want you to work on this and then send it to me, right? So I'm going to actually show this. Let me share right now. I will take this and I will put in the WhatsApp, our new group. Remember, now I have created a new group. Remember that don't have duplicate value. If you have 2 mobile phones, maybe you can leave with one so that it's easier for me to communicate with you, right? So after a couple of weeks, I'm going to delete the previous the group. Now we can have everything in under English group, right? I will save this, right? So this is right. Now I will send this to your WhatsApp, our WhatsApp group, right? And then, so let me, before I forget, let me put it. So I'll be sending this. So the homework is you should, send it to me this before the next class, and it's compulsory, right? And if you can't do rank, it's perfectly all right. So I'm not going to expect the rank in your case. So I'm actually now sending you the so I put the homework, right? So all the values actually you have given to me, nothing to do with me. So try to get, and all the orange colored cells, you have to type equations or functions that we have discussed in the class. Okay, and with that one, I will conclude today's session. Hopefully next week we can work on this, right? So one more time, I will talk about how to find the rank because somebody in the class actually request this. So one more time, right? I'll be share my Excel. Right here is my Excel sheet. Okay, the rank. Now rank is like this. The function takes two parameters. The first one we have to say which one to rank. So we will say equal rank, and then we put F2, comma. So F2 means we want to rank this one. Then we have to specify range. The marks range is this. So we have to say F2 to F7. So the equation is equal rank F2, comma, F2 to F7. We will give the range. That's all. Two different. First one, you give the value and then you give the range. Because we want to find out 79 in what position in this set of value. So that's what we are going to find out. And then, now when you copy, the problem is F2 becomes F3. You know that when you copy, the numbers will change. But in our range, it should be fixed to F2 to F7. So for that, we will use a dollar mark before 2 and 7. The meaning of dollar mark is, okay, don't change. So it will be always F2. If you go to the next lines, you will see it's always the range is F2 to F7. Whereas, you know, the first value will be changed. So the first one is F2, then F3, F4, and so on. It goes like this. So that's the rank. Okay, time's up. Then we'll finish for today. Thanks, guys. We'll meet next week with the final part of Excel. Thanks.